Mai kinohi mai. Mai kapiko mai. Kapiko o wākea. Kapiko o ka manawa. Ile ana me ngā kupuna noho i tupo. Kapiko o mua. Ile ana me nā mākua ma mua i a kako. O kapiko i lalo. Ile ana i nā iwi. Mahope i a kako. Rohe mai no ia. O ka tapu. E tapu nui. E tapu ki e no. A ia wahi o iao. O maui. O papa. Papa ka ni au. O haho. Lu kau paka. Nana ia wahi o iao. No ka e a iao o laila. No ka pela. Ke ali o wākea. No loko ka haunaka. O ke aliki. O kaualu. O loe. O lai e lohe. O ka lamakua. O naha ke kapu. A pilani wāhine. Puka mai namaka. O ka hai pilani. O le pau. Kaulahea. O kamalalawalu. Mai ke o ka alole. Nana i hanau ka makaeha. Ke ali ina na e kahiko o mauila. Kahiko ki kaa. Aka ua na hua. Kaua lili le hua. Kaua ula. Ua noho i huka. O wai a wau eha. He awole iane. He na au po. He ki i ka haine. A i wai ho ai. Ka eke ai. Ki i nā ke kuko ala nai ka manao. Kuhi ia. Kono ke kanaka. Mō lale ia wahi. Aka mana iala. I wai ho wale nā alono. I ka mālie. E aloe. E aloe.
Ho e mai la pai kione o mai ka maui nui a kama mai ka hukama kualoa e ke kula kama o mau. E o mai ko la haina no sa aina aliki he aina nani hana lawa ki pahulu. E o mai kiki he kume heo e ke ala aliki ulu vehi ke kiha e kione hulale no kanaha. Ia kuki kai o kanaloa ke ola kukila kauta hano pare te au malama ka maha ono ka halawai me ko ohu iau. Lo maui nui a kamake ka maaloha aina hoa i ka lama kua ho o malama. Kalama ia ka ike kupona o kua e la ke o kua ke kanaka karutuku. Eo e koe noa, e na hale mua. Ami nā kapu kuia aloa. Ami nā loi loa. Me nā hale puli. E ola no. E mana no. E piko. O iau. Ke ala nui. Ke ala hele. E tu no, no ka iau. Ama.
Me kumalu kuava ilani mai. E vai kapu o kama. O ti hano taili. Anai e o kumuko ai kau. O mauna leu. A me mauna kane I kai kapu I kalani. Aya ke alo ta lili noi. E ke kuala pi hana kawaya kane. Ulu e ka mana a ka uhane o ke kumuko a ua ka he a ka ilia. E uhane no a pi ke kumuko o ke ku kaula lo he waka hoko. Apa apono ke ame ka he kau holo mo ana ita mo auli. Lauhoi, kaunui tawa ako. Ora papa ike kai kupiki o. Aku kai hui kamakanilo he anale ona he na he. Ora mau ke kai ko. Ora mau ka ora moana. Ei ano. O kaile. Kupulu ho maluka po lava lua. Mo popo ku kaulalo.
Something old, something now, and something expected. Expected. Yeah.
Nana ihola ka uhani o kia kuat malu na ka haji. Ihola kia kuat I malama awa malama ole lo haule. Years ago we put up on Kohaku Akane here in Io. Within the confines of the stone had one baby. Interestingly enough, how it unfolded. We had a bunch of seers come to this area and we put a little out from all of the Lo'i, representing the island. We put them upon our hair and everyone was directed to go to 3 points on Maui. The fontanelle, the throat, and the mouth. Everybody took bowl water. When the sun was at high noon and there was no shadow casting in the bowl, each group at different areas began to prophesy to the spirits. Then we met back here. We had Alpha and everybody went home. I was scratching my head wondering what happened. I felt something shift in the spirit but wasn't quite sure exactly what it was. Not too long after that, a friend of mine told me, hey, we'll get planting ceremony, Kawewehi. You go come. You go up to the Ko'a. I went Pule. I said, I don't know. I'll go Pule. I find out where I need to be. I put down the Kawewehi. So we went. And I'm still in search mode, waiting for heaven to speak to interpret what happened those weeks previous me going to Kawewehi. 3 days has passed now on Kawewehi and there was no sound from heaven made to interpret. On the final day, a friend of mine told me, you know, Maui is the mama, Kawewehi is the baby. If you take aerial shots, you won't see that. And then the Adunates, of course, being the island in between. And as I was sleeping there on the last day of the exit, one morning, Yahuwah will speak. He says, this island, the child, was destined for death. But what we had done in the previous weeks spoke life. The mama speak life to the child, and that the generations would live. I knew there was a stone here that was of significance, but to what extent, I never know. I think I just the proper my big chest on top. We had meditation. But when I was on access in heaven, we speak as the child goes, so goes the generation. The day we returned, a group of us came up. I asked, help me. We go up by this Kapu and we go put them in place because I had already created an area where the stone was to stand. When we came and we began to hold it up after ceremony and we would stand them up. This stone in the Opu had one baby already carved in the stone, unbeknownst to us. And he was standing upon Mount Nakane with his paw towards Mount Aleo. It was a sign that this generation will stand upon the mountain of God and will speak God. See, these things that are written in stone is only but prophecy. But we got to bring them forth. There is an obligation on our part to see to it that a word that is descended from heaven comes to pass. That is a weighty matter on my part, knowing who I am and what I have been called for to do with our nation and our people. You know, when we stood this stone up, there was already on the fontanelle of these 4 hoppers, there was an Apu already carved and it began to rain. And this Apu will fill up in water, it survived, and came down the Kua, the spine, another sign of heaven, saying, by Akane will heal this generation, and he will stand upon the mountain of heaven, and will speak and become the voice of heaven. This storm that happened was not per chance. It was ordered of heaven for the cleansing of this land. Nothing like a good punch in the face to wake you up from all of your whatever you say in dreamland. This has woken up our people, and I know it has infected many families in EL, but this is bigger than that. This is a sign from heaven that the cleansing has taken place. Wake up, people. Now that which is in prophecy must become manifested through flesh talents. Okay? Otherwise, it just remains nice story to tell everybody, but it does not obligate you whatsoever. I am here to declare to you that that which was in prophecy is now manifested to a human channel. Word made flesh. A living word has been spoken, and now this land is obligated to see that change through, because this is the time of Huli. Who knows how that Huli is going to look like? We see in part, we prophesy in part. The taking of this stone in this recent storm, look, only half of what used to be here. This is more than just a nice project to make nice for the tourists. This is beyond tourism. This is not even a blessing of this valley. This is a declaration of a shift that has taken place. It's a shift, not a blessing. We are already blessed. Our people are blessed people. They're just sleeping. They need to wake the hell up. And this is the time for that great awakening to happen. And all of those who stop rattling, but now come together. Let the muscles and the sinews come together and become a marching army. One body, many members moving as one. I declare this day as the page that is marked in the time and space of this becoming true reality.
E kala me I au, e nimi no ka pepe au, o lelo haole. That is the way of saying that the language here is Hawaiian, and somebody will trespass. I will trespass. Okay? This is the hollow of the hand. There are 3 names to that, but there's another thing that came with Pa'au. Ku'ula makai, ku'ula mahuka. Not mauka. Mahuka is the same thing that is in the South Pacific called Tani Mahuta, the Lord of the Forest. All those things reveal nothing. All here now, all these trees, most of them are foreign. Paperberry, Java plum, many kind of trees. Many people came. It will be our task to slowly kiki out. There was a lady that used to stand in a terrapatsi in Keanai. She had a sickle. And she would say to this favorite child, Oki mai no kapepeao. Why? I could never understand the meaning of it. Hikiao means to clean a body before it is buried. To clean and discern. There cannot be blood on a sacrifice. It must be clean. Every nation, every people wash before they put away. So Hikiau is about cleaning land, removing the weeds, saving the me'ai, the food, and keeping the lapa'au, the medicine, for those will be needed by future generations. So this blessing, we had a shaking. The rocks moved. That stone fell down. This is not about the visitor. This is about we who keep the ancient murmur and must make it a living song. So we have gathered here today to ask forgiveness to things in the past, made anew. I don't want to hear the barking. I would like to hear the prayer. Demonstrate in your life something that is positive. The luwa'i just poisons everybody. Vomiting and grumbling doesn't help. The halimua, no matter what the famine, the desolate, the storm, the great river moving, the river of destruction. Tomorrow, go forward, the halimua. That is exactly what it means. So, this prayer session is about all of us going forward. The mayor has put things into motion, and there was a great barking. Those stones were not sacred. The sacred stone was lost. It might be found, but you have to pray and go look for it. That's Colorado's job. Kaya's Olelo is all about the old chiefs, the great sacrifices that were made. In this valley, an act of love, a high chief born of heaven, who had the kapu of his shadow falling on anyone, had to be put to death. He disagreed. He came to this place and lived in a cave, in the huna, like a hermit, so his shadow would never fall on any servant. No one would ever be pained, and lived here quietly. He did not even ask to be buried. He lied down in that cave and passed. That's the kind of sacrifice made by your ancestors for your joy. So, things were said. When we argue and notice the defect, we luwa'i like a dog. When we take the ancient murmur and make it a himene, then we sing the joy of a tomorrow and a unity. So, think of this as the hollow of the hand. Ea kapule. Hapai kalimaloa, e kahali, e kahaloa, e kahama'uma'u. The short breath of meditation. Oh Lord, take this company in the hollow of your hand. All. Breathe the short breath of work, study, running, life. The long breath of meditation, contemplation, and prayer. And the breath forever and ever. You got to give up the body for that. Oh, mau, mau, mau. A breath that lives in the physical now, and we live in the stars that we call heaven. I am grateful for all of you being here. And I would like all of you to make a joyful sound. You know, one of the goals that I've always had was to be able to expand the culture, and we've gone many steps to try and expand the culture. One of the things that's in motion right now is to actually acquire over 4,000 acres of property around this area. And one of the things that has always been there was to be able to preserve the history and the culture of the community. So over time, we've been able to create the hollies here. We've been able to create a lot of the protection that we need to be able to preserve the culture. But we have to be able to preserve the culture in a way that allows everyone to be able to understand what it is and to be able to respect it. By purchasing all of this area back here, the caves, the ability to protect all of this will last forever. That's what one of our goals is.
to be able to expand the history correctly is important, because the Hawaiian history has demonstrated many sacrifices to be able to take care of the Hawaiian community. I think understanding the history correctly will allow us to be able to really truly honor those that created that history and allowed the people of Hawaii to have the freedoms that you do, just as we had someone living in the cave here so as their shadow would not force someone to die, injure anyone. We have to be able to make sure that our shadows allow the community of Hawaii to be able to prosper and not injure people. And that's what our job is. So let's move forward with the goals. Let's do it in a fashion that will allow everyone to be able to work together and to be able to, at the same time, preserve what is most sacred and what is most valuable, which is the culture.
Let us say where the Kapu began. The defending forces of Maui, putting up against the lonely one and the forces of the Big Island. Kapu is below that bridge. Everything up here doesn't belong to a human being at all. It belongs to spirit. That's the conflict between the elders and the park. Because you call it a park, you play. If you call it a sacred site, you pray. For Hawaiian, this is a praying place. For others, it's a playing place. Someday, this water of life, cannot be pissed in again. The sewer system that we rely for the cleaning of our cities will be erased. All of it will be dry, because that water will be needed just for drinking, which is true intent to feed and make growth. We're going through changes. We used to burn oil. We're now using photosol. This is a time when miracles are happening around us, and we're just worrying about the cost. The cost is you don't have a wall. There's no value in argument. There's only value that tomorrow, you face the dog and go forward. So, Kapu will always be in a confusing state because men have already penetrated the sacred area. That Hanalei down there never was meant to be built. Several people were brought in to put that thing as a cultural thing. The Kanaka belong in the valley defending it, but they couldn't go and welcome everyone in. That is localism. That is the democratic system. That's what we have now. Deal what you have now, but know that in between the crevices and of our mind, there is still the obligation, still kulo to makua, akua. So let us all leave this place in peace and new thoughts. Noticing defects should be non-fashionable after this prayer. Mahalo nui. Aloha. Ie kahanga pa. Manao, let us end the prayer part.
Ia no ka ahi kapu. E hele o Maui. Ho'a pui na moko ai. This torch went around the island and united all the mokus, and now it is here today. So I offer this whole kuku to the kahu of this place as a beacon for the coming generations. And anytime this place comes upon Pilikea, that the torch shall be lit and shall be used as a vessel to summon the people to this place. E no ka ho'okupu ahi kapu. Hanalei Colleado.